Good morning, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Now, thank you for coming back to this newest episode. And as you can hear, my voice is a little bit shaky. I've had COVID for the past while now. Past week, sorry. Still do have it a tiny bit. And my voice is still pretty bad. But I'll be making the newest video for you guys. So here it is. What if Naruto was the Otsutsuki God's reincarnation, part 4. And thank you very much to Isa J1G3N. I have no idea what you were meant to write there, but in replacing the numbers, but thank you for the support and thank you for the comment. Have a good day. And now let's just get straight into it. Naruto wakes up from after having slept with in Kakashi's house. His new dad, after have just recently returned from the mission, and having told the Otsutsuki girl what he had done, and he was told that he finally got to learn that he'd be finally getting to learn a new ability of the Jokin, as it was called. And so, as soon as Naruto wakes up, he eats really quickly, which surprises Kakashi as there's nothing really to rush about, and heads out and says he'll train. Kakashi then pays no mind to it, and then, but he is a little bit suspicious on where he does go to train every time because he can't find him, and he knew that his chakra was getting lower and lower, meaning to either one of two things: that he was losing chakra, or that he was getting better at concealing it. Kakashi didn't know which one it was yet, but decided that it most likely was positive, that he was getting good at controlling what came out. Sorry. Naruto then rushes over to the strange Otsutsuki girl, and they immediately begin training on the new ability. After a while, a couple of hours, let's say, Naruto and the strange Otsutsuki girl stop to take a break, as the Otsutsuki girl needs it, but not Naruto. And the Otsutsuki girl asks why he's never asked for her name, and he says that he thought that she would just tell him at some point. Naruto did wonder, though, why she had never said her name. Naruto then asked, seeing the chance to ask her now what her name was. She said, Surichi Otsutsuki. Yes, that will be her name. I finally came up with a good one in my eyes. And she's from another planet that was sent here to protect him and teach him. Naruto was a bit confused as what she meant by other planet, and she said that she'll explain it to him when he needs to know. Naruto accepts that answer and goes back to training, while Surichi will wait a little bit more to regain her entire posture and such. Naruto doesn't really care, but is saddened that he won't be joined by his teacher for a while, but goes on to train anyway. Now we'll make a time skip. Yeah, let's say a time skip. Naruto, this is going to be a 2-3 month time skip. Naruto has done a few more C rank missions. He's done, let's say 3. He's done 3 more C rank missions. And we won't really go into them as they were C ranks, not really another Land of the Waves arc. Spoiler, he will have one soon. But he gets back. he gets back from his latest sea rank and has used some of the new moves from the Jokin that he's learned, and also accidentally activated his Sharingan. You know, the Otsutsuki style, the purple one. Naruto is very glad, you could say, that he finally has that his Sharingan that is better than the Uchiha Brat's one has finally unlocked, but he needs to know how to use it, which, spoiler, nobody in the Otsutsuki clan really truly does. Naruto, runs over to Surichi and tells her that everything that he's done. She's very proud of him. And tells him that nobody really does know the Otsutsuki style Sharingan's abilities, though, as somebody has ever only used two abilities, and even they killed them after the user used them. But she theorizes that it may have all of the Sharingan's abilities, which she won't be wrong on. Naruto is very intrigued on abilities because he's never really seen the Sharingan in action. He's just heard that Uchiha brat talk about it like it was godhood or something, which he still hasn't learned that he was a true god, as that knowledge was still gone for now. But he returns to school. He returns to school, and sees not school. Sorry, he returns to Kakashi for their next mission, which will be another D rank, which he wasn't too excited about. So he created a clone and escaped, and went to train. However, on the way, he discovered something. He discovered a girl, Hinata, and the normal events played out from there. She was being bullied, and Naruto saved her in a way that wasn't impressive. He just kind of threw the boys away and then kept going, not really impressing Hinata, and she knew who he was, and so immediately felt disgust that she had liked him for a split second, and ran back to her Menma. Yes, that will be the ship for this one. Menma X Hinata. Shut up. Nobody asked. Naruto, of course, expected this reaction, as it was his older brother's girlfriend that he just saved, which she wouldn't be proud of at all. She was also an honorable Hyuga, one of the more hated clans from Naruto's side. Naruto continued to go with his training, and was getting really good at it. Some new abilities that he's achieved over this past time is another Jokin move that I've made up, but I've seen somewhere, I believe. So I might not have made it up, but it's similar to the Sharingan's. Think of it as like Amaterasu, but instead of being black, it's completely white, and is like 1,000 times harder than Amaterasu, and also still can be controlled at will by the Jokin user, which I actually thought was a surprise that the Amaterasu could, but it's fine. But Naruto has this. This is the only new ability that he's learned, and it uses up a lot of chakra, of his human chakra that he has. For God chakra, wouldn't even be that much. And he has then he then kept going with his training, and he has taijutsu he has a taijutsu style. Yeah, I just made that up, but yeah, he has a taijutsu style, and we'll just and think of it as like powerful swings. Like it focuses more on power than precision. I don't believe that there's a style for that, but that's what that's what his style does. Focuses very much on power instead of precision, and it works a lot of the time. And for Kenjutsu, he hasn't really started work on that. He has met his tail beast once more during a C rank mission, which was just when he was really bored and decided to check out this mine that he's read about. And so he continued to go back in there and met his beast, and it was again nice to him, and he still couldn't see why it was called the nine-tailed fox when it didn't have nine tails. But so he asked it, and the beast looked on him and said that I am not the nine tails. I am something far superior, far stronger, but was not involved with your parents' death. In fact, that nine tail is sealed inside your siblings, as I stopped it from going into you. Naruto was glad to hear that he wasn't a monster, but his prodigy siblings, as they were called, even though they weren't close to Naruto's level. Naruto then asked him one more question. If you weren't included in the death of my parents, then why are you sealed inside me? And the beast simply put said that he did it in his free will. Naruto was then snatched out of the mindscape by Kakashi after noticing that he had slacked off, even though he was very proud of him for doing so, but was still a bit mad. Okay, so I just had it paused for a while, and I'm just gonna say that we had a time skip in this for another month, and he did training because well, I can't really remember what we did or what I was talking about before the pause. Also, for you, it might have been a couple of seconds. For me, it was about an hour. So, but for but after this time skip, Naruto is a lot stronger, and he has all those abilities as previously mentioned. Um, Naruto also has mastered to turn on and turn off his Otsutsuki Sharingan, which was easy enough. However, the real challenge comes to the abilities, which he will have all Mangekyo abilities with it, and two Otsutsuki abilities that won't kill him, but only will kill him after prolonged use. Naruto is extremely powerful now, but he's not as powerful as he could be. He also has about, let's say, a tail of chakra from his tail beast. Wait, that's weird. It's not there. Huh. That is very, very weird. The fact that it isn't there. Huh. But he has about one tail worth of his chakra from his tail beast. Naruto is becoming increasingly more powerful. His karma has just been unlocked, and so all of that, and all of the abilities that come with that have also been unlocked as well. It's the god's karma that the 10 tails cannot control, or 1,000 tails. Sorry, forgot about it. And however, However, Naruto's kept going. Naruto's keep on training, and now it's about time for the Chunin exams. I realized that was a little bit later than the wave arc. However, they got the mission earlier in this one. Let's just say that. And so they get invited to the Chunin exam, of course, as Naruto alone shows severe progress. Menma was favored for the Chunin exam. Wait, no, Menma's not on Naruto's squad, was he? Was he? I can't remember. But Menma was favored to go in, and Mito was also very favored to go in to the Chunin exam. and someone taking someone as an apprentice was allowed for this one, because Jiraiya and Tsunade had taken both Menma and Mito as an apprentice during the month. And if they were allowed the rank of Chunin, they no longer had to be under a Jonin instructor like Kakashi, and therefore they could move on to be there to the apprenticeships. For the written exam, nothing much really happens. Naruto knows the answers, so he just writes them down, which shocked the instructor, and he kept his mouth quiet, because he knew the point of the 10th question, and so he didn't yell out, and so a lot more people failed. Naruto then moves on to the second exam, the Forest of Death. Naruto immediately lands his team a scroll using his Jogan ability, which I'll call Foresight. Think of it as like the Byakugan. However, instead of being able to see all around him, he can only see straight ahead of where his eyes is looking at, and he can see, let's say, a kilometer with it. Naruto uses this to immediately spot a team with the opposite scroll of what they have, and so they immediately go for that. The team that they go into is just some random Genin team from, let's say, Land of Sound. I know that was in the Konoha Crush, but let's just say that it was a random team from there, not involved with the plans. Naruto's team then goes on to pass that one extremely easily, and passes it within the first day. The Kazekage is of course there, the Kazekage would be there, and here I'd say that since Minato's there, there's peace. So the Raikage won't be there, but the Mizukage will. So Minato has to put on this special act for Naruto that says that he was the first one to get there, blah blah blah, and also first and generally congratulates his team. However, when learning that Naruto had it, he in his mind took it back. Had done most of it. Sorry, he in his mind took it back what he said about the team passing. Naruto could hear this for a split second, saying not really, but paid no attention to it. Naruto later, God damn it. Naruto then goes on to wait and train a little bit more, though he knew he didn't need it for the Chunin exams. He trained a little bit more to get to a good level of power, and but more to control his powers better, so he wouldn't kill someone in case it was a friendly shinobi. Naruto, we make a time skip for the preliminaries, and we see Naruto standing there, just quietly watching the entire thing. He's at the front of the line, of his line, as he made it there first. Naruto then is not the first one to be called up, however, and he knew this because, well, he's controlling it with one of his Sharingan abilities, his Otsutsuki Sharingan abilities. he sent in a form of his, kind of like Kage did with creating Setsu, a form of his will to go and make to go and tamper with the screen for now. And as soon as that task has been fulfilled to all of his choices of combos, the will would then destroy itself, which was its plan, and that was its whole life purpose, and so it did it very well. And Naruto chose Rock Lee for the first match to go up against Gaara, and it all goes as normal, you know. Like if most of you would have watched it, but it goes as normal. Second up, it would be Sasuke, which you'd notice that he was very weakened for some reason, and so he put him up against a strong opponent like Neji, and so he immediately was dispelled. Naruto was overjoyed by this choice, as it showed that Sasuke was inferior to the Hyuga, which boosted the Hyuga's ego more, but he let that slide, as now the Sasuke's ego was crushed. He made an excuse that he was in a weakened state right now and couldn't use his shutting. And however, to Neji and the rest of the onlookers, it sounded like excuses, as they'd just seen how truly weak he was, even if just base form. Naruto then puts up Choji against the regular. Most of them up against the regular. However, Sakura he put up against Mito, one of her better friends other than Ino, just to see what they would do. And Sakura immediately forfeit, and nobody knew why, but Naruto saw Ino with her mind transfer jutsu very subtly, but he did see it, and so thought that might be why. And immediately after, Ino stood up and Sakura just knew what had happened and walked to the stand, making it seem very, very normal. He then chose Ino to go up next and chose Temari. Yeah, that's her name. And Temari was a bit disappointed that this was her opponent, and pretty much did the same as she did with Tenten, but a little bit harder, like a little bit longer. The fight took longer, pretty much. And so all the rest of the fights go normal, and Naruto finally goes up against Menma himself. Minato's overjoyed that Menma might actually finally be able to beat the demon, which he had grown to calling him, even though he knew Menma also was just as much a demon as Naruto was. But Naruto wiped the floor with Menma, and so Minato excused it to be the Nine Tails, as everyone, including the Mizukage and the Kazekage, knew what he was talking about. They subtly agreed, but then Minato reminded him of one thing, that he had allowed it to be because he and then told the truth out to everybody that Menma and Mito were also Shinshurikis of the Nine Tails, and so Minato had allowed in the rules that the Nine Tails that Jubi Chakra was allowed, so that his favorite children could use it to win their fights. Minato cursed Naruto and then let him be. The Mizukage and Kazekage were a bit shocked at hearing this, that some random kid was a Jinchuriki, but also the Hokage's children. Naruto and all the rest went normal. And so the finals will be covered in the next episode. Thank you all very much for listening to this episode, and please, if you did enjoy, I know we all hate it that when YouTubers say this, but please do subscribe, and it actually does help me a lot as a small channel. I also have a Discord that will be linked in the description. If you have the feeling to it, join it. as well. You can communicate with me there if videos aren't uploading when you want. And as always, good morning, good evening, or good night.